Yesterday's assignment asked you to order these cereals from least sugary to most. Now, if you didn't do yesterday's assignment or Friday's assignment, you should definitely pause this video and go back and do those. And then we're going to be talking about the next assignment here today. Okay. Yesterday's assignment, you looked at this graph, right? And they asked which box is the most sugary. Now, some people put C because there are most grams of sugar here. And if you remember, each point here represents one serving of the cereal, right? But it is not C, right? In fact, it is box A. And that's because while you might see less sugar here than box C, right? This is also for a smaller amount of cereal here. And so if you divided the amount of sugar here by the amount of grams to find how much sugar it is for 1 gram of cereal, you'll find that box A has more sugar there. And in fact, here was the chart that they showed you. So Fruit Loops had the most sugar, right? And it asks you to describe the lines, and here are some answers we got. The steeper the line, the more sugar a cereal has, right? And that's true. The steepness shows more sugar, right? It tells you how sugary each cereal is, the steepness does, right? So all of these answers tell us about how sugary the cereal is, and the steeper the line, the more sugary it is, right? Okay. Now, we're going to be talking about constant proportionality. So this was on the Quizlet, right? And the definition is a constant ratio of two variables related proportionally, right? So, for instance, in the first Desmos assignment that we had, right, we looked at this graph here. And it said Jalen's graph is shown here. His equation is y equals 8.3x. This is for how far he ran and his time. Maria plans to run 8 miles in 57 minutes and 55 seconds. How would her graph and equation compare? Well, if you divide this amount of time by the amount of miles, and be careful of units, you get 7.24. So this would be your equation. And if I graph this equation, her line would be steeper, right? So Jalen, if you remember, ran a mile in 8.3 minutes. Maria would run a mile in 7.24 minutes. So she runs faster, okay? So the constant proportionality for Jalen was 8.3, the coefficient here. And the constant proportionality for Maria was 7.2. So in an equation where you have y equals and the variable x here, the constant proportionality is that coefficient, that number that we often highlight, right? And then that affects how steep this line is. All right. So you're going to be asked a question like this one today for the Khan Academy assignment. So the quantities x and y are proportional is what they're saying here, right? And proportional was also a vocab word on the Quizlet. So here we see the table, right? And it says find the constant proportionality r in the equation y equals rx, right? And so that's why I'm saying in terms of the coefficient there, we need to find that value. Now, the way we do this, right, if I'm comparing x and y here, is I need to take the y value and divide it by the x value in order to get the constant of proportionality, right? Which in this case comes out to be 11. Now, because it's a constant of proportionality, what that means is if I took a different point, right, the 77 divided by the x value 7 here, I get the same value. You should get the same value for all three things here. So that means that my constant proportionality is 11. Now, let's just say I got this wrong here. Oh no, instead of moving on, right? Remember, you can get help, right? And it shows you that you should have had 11, right? What times x gives us y? 2 times 11, right? Would give us that value. And so you could even pause this video and write this down as an example, right? And kind of rewatch how I did it. And that way you'll be all set for the Khan Academy assignment. Thanks for watching, guys.